Hi everyone, hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So today I'm going to do a colour and chat, explain a few things, a couple of stories. Hope you find funny or you can relate to me. While we're going to be chatting, I'm going to be colouring in Mini Marotta's Animal Kingdom. I actually got this from B&M here in the UK for £4.99, and if anyone's interested. And this is the first page. It's a whip that I'd started. I did acrylic metallic paint, the Daler and Rowney acrylic tubes. This is metallic blue, which I loved, and I only did like a couple of the blue bits. So this past week I felt like continuing in it because I want to work on another whip that's similar to this. So I went in and finished all the blue bits, and I want to do purple and orange the octopus. So I have started. I used a cheap colouring pencil for these orange bits here, purely because that's the one that I started with, and I like using different things from time to time, but I went in really hard. And then on these other orange bits I'm using my Prismacolors. This one is the mineral orange, if you can see that, and I've written out here, I just looked with my eye and picked out a couple of Prismas that will match this orange here. It's by a brand called Helix. They're like colouring pencils for kids that I got from Poundland, but I really like the orange in it. So I'm just going through, I'm starting with my mineral orange, and I'll bring in some others along the way. So that's that. As you can see here, because of how I had it, I didn't really break in the book. So I kind of painted up to a line, but I've still got some paint to add in here. But anyway, let me carry on. So I have had the busiest Christmas period today. It honestly has got to be. Let me just put my light on because I can't see. There we go. Yeah, I think I've had the busiest Christmas period I've ever had. Say this year, last Christmas just gone, 2018, moving into 2019. I do work in retail, so naturally it's going to be busier for us, which is good, more money for me kind of thing. I am trying to start my own business in regard to like fashion and creative stuff, and anyone that does this hobby, any kind of journaling projects. I do a lot of Bible journaling in my spare time as well, which is where I'm trying to take my business. And in fashion, we all know that the creative industries, it does cost a lot of money, and to have your own business in that, it is a lot of money. So that's why I do work so much, is to save money for that. I'm also desperately wanting and needing to buy my own house. That is in regards to my mental health. I just can't be surrounded by certain people at certain times. I've lived in this house all my life. I wasn't born here, I was born in the hospital down the road, but my mum's had this house my whole life. We've never moved. I just think it's a case of you outgrow your situation sometimes and where you're living. I love my mum to death. She's probably the only real supporter I've got, her and my boyfriend, I would say. And it is hard because obviously in her day and age growing up, mental health wasn't something that was talked about. It was kind of something that you hide and forget, but you all know me by now. I'm not trying to hide mine, because I did that when I was younger. When I was being bullied, I used to self-harm a lot, and now that's led me to the road where I'm here today, which is kind of in a bad situation. And I realise now that the more you hold it in, it's just the worse you're going to get for yourself. So it is a little bit of a struggle getting my mum to understand, but she does try, you know. Her and my boyfriend really, really do try. Sometimes I have to tell them where they're going wrong, or if they don't understand, and it's 50-50, you know. It's on me to express myself clearly, and it's on them to understand me and accept me. And that's for anyone in my life, to be fair, and that's why I don't really have a lot of friends, because people don't want to accept me for the way I am. But yeah, because of that, like I say, don't have friends, and other issues, I just don't think people take me seriously where I am now. So I do want to move out. I want my own house. I don't want to rent, because that does cost a lot of money. So I am saving for my own mortgage, as well as trying to start my own business and upkeep my hobbies, which I can't let go of, because they one, help my career. If I want to be a fashion designer, I get a lot of inspiration from them, and number two, they help my mental health. So it's not like I can say, you know what, I'm just not gonna colour for the rest of the year and save money. I can't do that to myself. But that is why I do work 90% of the time. I like my job. I like where I am. There are people there that accept me for who I am, which is lovely. But my 2019 started off with a nice bang, shall we say. So I went to the hospital, was it November? It was my mum's birthday actually, November. In regards to a lot of womanly issues, periods, hormones and all that. And she was sending me for a scan on my ovaries and my womb just to see if everything was okay. And lo and behold, I got the letter for that on the 5th of January 2019. So it's like the first week into the new year. I did plan to catch up on a lot of videos and a lot of projects in the holidays, but I was so tired from work that I thought it's going to have to wait to the new year. And because I knew I had this appointment within the first week of January, I thought, right, this week I'll start. But when I went, I asked my mum to come with me because I don't like hospitals. I had my wisdom teeth removed. I've never liked hospitals anyway. They kind of make me nervous. My granddad died in hospital, so I think psychologically that's in my head. And then I had my wisdom teeth removed in September. They were causing me a lot of pain, so they had to come out. It wasn't like I could avoid it. A lot of pain since I've been about 12 actually, just constantly. They were kind of coming through my cheek. I had infections all the time, just nasty. But I was put under general anaesthetic, and I don't know if anyone's actually gone for an operation or been put under general. When you go, you speak to the anaesthetist. He asks you a lot of questions and stuff, or he tells you a lot of things. I had to fight with him because I had to take my tongue bar out. Not a lot of people know this, I do have my tongue pierced. If you find me on Instagram, there are a lot of pictures with me sticking my tongue out. I absolutely love this piercing, and a reason why is because it was the first thing I did, the first decision I made on my own, shall we say, as an adult, and I don't regret it one bit. It literally symbolises and defines who I am, because a lot of people don't know I've got it done, obviously because it's in my mouth. You won't see it unless I open my mouth really wide. And when they do, they're like, oh, you've got your tongue pierced. And sometimes I forget because I'm just so used to the feeling of it. So I do love it, but because it's your tongue and it's in your mouth, when you take it out, especially when you first have it done, the hole closes up really quick. And this operation, I was going under for about 2 to 4 hours while they were doing all the work, and then you're still sleeping afterwards, and then they wake you up kind of thing, or the medication wears off. And I didn't want my hole to close up, so I had to fight him on that, but he convinced me. I took it out, I googled it, and because I've had it done since I was 18, so that's what, 4 years now. Because I've had it done for so long, it shouldn't close up, and it didn't. But speaking to the anaesthetist about that, and he was like, oh, because you could choke on the tongue bar, you might be sick, but because we've got tubes down your mouth, you will swallow the sick and it will go into your lungs and you could die, blah blah blah. I've also got asthma as well, so they had to take like extra precautions. And he said, oh, it was something like 1 in a million people wake up during the operation. Some people don't feel anything, so they just stay awake. Some people do feel pain, and when you do, we just put you back to sleep. And I remember thinking, oh, that's a bit traumatic, isn't it? But I went ahead with it. Anyways, so I had the operation, and I laugh now because it could only happen to me, but it wasn't funny at the time. When I woke up, I couldn't breathe. That was initially what woke me up. I went into the room, took my inhaler off, got gowned up. They started putting tubes in me, which I don't like needles. It was in my hand and it hurt. My hand and my arm stayed swollen for the 2 weeks I had off work. My hand was swollen, and it was my colouring hand, so I couldn't do anything. I was so upset. But yeah, putting the medication in, and I started to feel funny. I thought I was having a heart attack, if I'm honest. And as I told them, he said, oh, look up at the clock, and I don't remember anything after that. He told me to count to 10. I don't remember that at all. I don't even remember looking at the clock. I was just out. But when I woke up, I couldn't breathe. It was like I was trying to breathe and I couldn't breathe. And I thought, okay, I'm not used to these kind of situations, but I have asthma, so calm and rational. I'm in the right place. Tell them that you can't breathe. This is what I'm saying in my head. I go to open my mouth and I can't talk because there's a tube down my throat. So that's when I started to panic. And I think as I started to panic, my heart rate went quicker because the monitor started bleeping. And the only way I could alert them, because when I opened my eyes, I couldn't see anybody around me. I do think that was because I was so dizzy and dazed and confused from the anaesthetic. Because by the time what I did to alert them was I bashed my foot against the metal bed Literally, that's all I could do to say, look, something's not right, because I couldn't talk. And then about 50 people came over and they said, oh, it's all right, Leah, da, da, da. They whipped the tube out of my throat, out of my nose, stuck those paddy things that they stick onto you and whatever. Calmed me down, went home. My mum said I looked like a zombie. I had blood everywhere. It was on my teeth, on my face, on my clothes. Obviously, it was in the operation was in my mouth. I swallowed a lot of blood and then I brought it back up when I got home. It was the most traumatic experience, and it was just my teeth. So I always think, like, what if it's something worse and they have to operate and I have to go to hospital? I just can't do it. So I genuinely have a fear of hospitals. It doesn't really help with my anxiety, my OCD. Just I try to avoid them at all costs. But I've had a recurring issue now, and it's been bugging me because it may lead to infertility with me. It is a question that's up in the air at the moment of whether I can have kids or not, and I would like to have kids. If I can't, I would be sad, but I know it's not the end of the world because I do want to adopt as well. But I want to know, I want the certainty of yes you can, no you can't, and what I have to do after that. So I've pushed and pushed, and I was seeing a consultant, and that's how I came to the scan on the 5th of January, which I asked my mum to come with me because of what happened. I was just like, I'm not going to hospital. I refused to go by myself. On her birthday, I had to go to the consultant by myself because obviously my mum's a teacher. She's at work in the day. And I was all right. I did cry. When I say cry, I had a massive panic attack. But she was lovely about it. So just to make life easier, I took my mum with me. And she knew, I don't drive yet. Currently learning. Should be passing soon. I'm buying a car. It's another thing I'm saving for. But she knew the bus to go to the hospital, because the scan I was having is the same kind of scan that you have when you are pregnant. Ultrasound scan is it. And if you've ever had one of these, if you ever know somebody that's had these, you have to drink 2 litres of water before you actually get there. And if your bladder's not full, they will not do the scan. So I'm like, oh my God. I normally work late on a Saturday night late is what I do. But this appointment was for 2 o'clock or 2:20. And because of the outcome of the last hospital appointment, obviously I cried and stuff, and I didn't really feel in the right headspace. I kindly asked my manager if he could swap my shift so I could come in earlier and I didn't have to go to work crying or anything, if anything did happen, which he was fine with. But I didn't think it through because I then had to go to work, drink 2 litres of water while I'm at work, then travel to the hospital on this full bladder. I was a mess. in a hilarious kind of way. My mum was in Birmingham at the time. She goes to church in Birmingham, which is on the way to my work and on the way back home to my work, from work, whatever. So she came, met me, we got there. Now, I am in so much pain because all I want to do is wee. I just really, really need a wee. I had 500 millilitres left to drink, and I wasn't like, after an hour before you're not supposed to go to the toilet, is it like an hour and 2 hours for a litre or 2 litres of water to make sure your bladder's full. I was in such agony. I'm like, no, this isn't right. This isn't right. My mum was in stitches because I'm like, they can't do this to pregnant women. Like, I'm not even pregnant and it hurts. Like, can you imagine like a baby resting on your bladder? I just think it's torture. But we're at this bus stop waiting and I'm dying, crying and everything. And my mum decides to wander off around the town. And she looks in this furniture shop and she sees a nice unit. Pink gloss. It's got 2 long doors, a short door and 2 drawers. And Mum said, oh, that's nice. And she started thinking for her bedroom. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, that's nice. That would be nice for my colouring stuff. And I just, instantly I forgot that I needed a wee. It's a good job I didn't wee myself. Honestly, I just forgot that I needed a wee. I forgot about this hospital. I was just fixated on this unit. I said, it's really, really nice. It would fit in my office. I've got loads of pencil cases that were just stacked on top of my trays. I thought they could go in there, they're nice and hidden, more storage, blah blah blah. My mum was like, yeah, my TV can go in there and all my books in my room, blah blah blah. So we went in and had a look because we had like some time to wait for the bus. We went in, we had a look. The man said he could deliver it by Wednesday. I brought them on Sunday, so what I did, I brought one for my mum and she's going to pay me back because she is a single parent and she does everything. She buys my food. So I thought, you know, why not? I've got savings, blah, blah, blah. So that led me to Monday after work. I decided to plan my week, believe it or not. Like I said, because I had my hospital appointment, I knew that the first week in January, still getting back into routine, Christmas hours and stuff, I wasn't going to be able to film or do any projects. So that left me with this week. So on Monday, I sat and I planned out, and I'm not going to lie to you, I have a social media planner for my fashion work and stuff. I planned what I was going to do after work, Tuesday on my day off, Wednesday on my day off, the videos I was going to do, and blah, blah, blah. And this video, this colouring chat originally was meant to be the plans that I have for 2019 with myself personally and taking my channel creatively, stuff like that. But I thought you guys deserve an explanation as to why I'm just never here, never around. Believe me, if I'm never around, it is probably, something's probably happened. Not dramatic as in, oh my God, someone's dead, but my life is one of those lives where it's never dull, it's never quiet. Something happens, like this week. So the man said he could deliver it on Wednesday, and I was in a bit of a pickle because I had a driving lesson on Wednesday at 12:30, and he said delivery time is available between 10 and 1. So I asked him if he could come closer to 10. He said, yeah, we'll try. I said, that's brilliant. Tuesday, I rearranged my office, found some new things, and I was thinking this new unit, the way it's put and everything's away now, I can actually film a desk office tour, which will be so exciting. I love watching those because it gives me inspiration on how to lay out my workspace, and a lot of people do ask for prompts on most of the groups that I'm on, and I've always felt nervous for showing it, but now I've got my nice little pink unit, I feel like I can. So yeah, I moved around my office, found some new things to play with, like things that were hidden away. It's always good to have a clear out. And then Wednesday comes around. I set an alarm, I woke up early, just about to get a bit of breakfast, and the door knocks. 10:15, the units arrived. I was so excited because I was like, yes, I can go have my driving lesson straight away, move things around. I even wanted to take a trip up to the range for some things, and I thought I'll have time to fit it in today. That would leave, I didn't get to do was film this video on Tuesday because moving around my office took so long. So I thought, oh, that will leave Friday to film my YouTube video. Cool. So the units came, they put mine was going ground floor because I got my office. My mum's was going upstairs. Now my mum has no spatial awareness. The reason being is because she actually has dyscalculia, which is dyslexia but with numbers. So yeah, dyslexia is letters, dyscalculia is numbers. She's not good at maths. Took her how long to pass to become a teacher and stuff like that. And because she's got no spatial awareness, she gets put off buying furniture because we live in like a terrace house. So it's quite small and narrow, and most furniture can't move up. And then our stairs kind of has a turn and a dip, so furniture can't actually go up there. So we took the measurements down, but I don't have dyscalculia. And I could see straight away, it will go up there. It would be awkward, but it will go up there. The man refused to put it upstairs. He was like, oh, ground floor only. If he could, it would have been a big help because the actual unit was too heavy for me and my mum to lift it. Like, I'm still aching today. I'm not even done with the story, but I am aching. It was too heavy for us to lift. I tried to do it by myself. It wasn't happening. So I went on my driving lesson. I came back. Or did I do this before? I can't remember. I opened my cupboard to start moving my stuff, and I asked for this unit to be fully assembled just to save me some time because it was the same price. And he actually had only put in, he'd done the outside, but the inside, the shelves, he hadn't put them in. He'd left the shelves and some pins that you had to push in, but there was no instructions, so I rang. And he put the phone down on me, believe it or not. So I had to ring Trading Standards, who told me, yes, you have got a right because you paid for it to be fully assembled. I had to go into town on my day off when I wanted to film and ask him to show me. If not, Trading Standards said I had to take it like legally and blah, blah, blah. But he did show me in the end. Ran back, put them in, moved my stuff around. And just as I finished, my mum came. So we went to move hers upstairs. And believe me, it was a challenge. Because it was so heavy, it wasn't as easy as we wanted it to be or thought it would be. We have ripped the wallpaper on the stairs, and it took us from 5 o'clock in the evening till 9 o'clock at night to get this unit upstairs. But we did. And believe this unit came at 10 o'clock in the morning. So the whole day it was just there. which was so annoying. It was in my way of filming. Everything was piled on my desk, so I couldn't even get to colour. I haven't coloured for the past 4 days. And I've had the time to. I've just been sitting, doing nothing because I haven't been able to get to everything. But lo and behold, my dramatic week has come to a close. I did an early shift yesterday at work and I went to the range. So I could free up today to film, which is exciting. And the video that I wanted to film, this colouring chat, was my plans for 2019. So putting aside that crazy week, that's done now. I can't promise I won't have other crazy weeks because, like I said, it is my life. But this month, I thought I'd start with January rather than doing the whole year. This month, I do have a couple of videos lined up. So my first video, I think, which I'm going to film, I'm going to try and film it later on today. I might upload it next week though. That is going to be my swatch booking process. The groups that I'm on Facebook, a couple of people do ask these questions, and I know when I was first creating my first swatch book, I have 3, I tried to find videos on other people's way of swatch booking just for inspiration, and they're not that popular, believe it or not. There's not many videos that explain swatch booking, so I kind of had to go blindly and do it myself, which I don't mind, and that's probably how I've ended up with 3, because I've had to try and work out methods that work for me, which is a big thing in swatching. I never used to swatch purely because I guess I didn't have the time, but now I make the time because it makes my life so much easier. And that is one thing I will probably talk about in my video, is the actual importance of swatching, because there is an importance. I definitely believe so. So yeah, that will be my first video that I want to do. Like I said, I've got 3 books to go through. Kind of 3 different processes or 3 different reasons of why I swatch that way. And I know other ways that people do swatch that I haven't tried yet, but I might mention those and give an example. So there's that coming up. There is one video, the video that I originally wanted to start off with this year or January, was a comparison, a massive comparison of the coloured pencils that I have. They're not all the sets that I want to own. I do want some more, but obviously money wise I can't get them just yet. For example, I want the Artezas, I want the Black Widows, I want the Luminances. I would like the Holbeins, but the Holbeins are the last on my list because they're so expensive. I have my Prismas now for Christmas. So yeah, now the reason why I want to do this is because I don't know if anyone's like me, but I don't go travelling a lot, but I travel up to my boyfriend in Manchester, and I can't take my whole office with me. I wish I could. When I get my car, I can probably take more and just leave it in the boot of my car in case I need it, if I don't need it. And I like to use a lot of mixed media stuff, so I normally take a smaller set of pencils along with some pens and some gel pens. And I struggle just by looking without experimenting, like swatching it out. I struggle to know what colours to match up to which. For example, the reds in the polychromos and the reds in the Prismas, obviously you got 2 different pencils, but at some point the reds will look similar. Do you get my drift kind of thing? And kind of like when you do marker bases, that's one thing I want to get into more, is doing marker bases, whether it be watercolour, alcohol markers. I do want to do more bases, but I did try one and it went horribly wrong because I had the wrong colour on top of the marker. So what I want to do is create a chart that gets every single product that I have, supplies that I have. Obviously I'll start with the most popular ones that I know the people have, so I do want to share it with you guys, and I want to find a comparison for the colours. To do that, I went onto Google, I went onto, what's it called, not Copic, oh my god, the names just flew out of my head. The people that do the colour thing, it'll come back, Pantone. I have to know that as a fashion designer, that is so bad. I went on to Pantone, I went on to Pinterest, I got colour wheels, I got the colour spectrum, and what I did was I wrote out colours starting from white through to red and to the bottom. that is a technique in itself, which I'll talk about in my swatch book, because when I swatch colours out, if they don't come in an order, I actually do them in the colours of the rainbow, because that is the way the colour spectrum does naturally flow. The proper rainbow, that is, not the rainbow with pink in. But I'll talk more about that. So I wrote them out. See if I've got an example to show you. Just quickly, so you know what I mean. So you got white, but you've got umber. That is one that comes up a lot in different sets. Olive greens, your peaches, carmine is another word for red, but it comes up a lot in different sets. Sepia as well, ultramarine. You got blues, but you got so many different blues. You got baby blue, sky blue, aqua. All those colours that come up a lot. Red violets, which are my favourite colours. Kind of like a name for those kind of colours. I wrote them out and then I created a grid, but my grid was wrong because I had the colours at the top, the names of the sets at the bottom or on the side, and then I swatched it out in a box, but I needed space to write what pencil it was. So you got this, which is Mineral Orange. Can you see? I'm trying to see if you can see that. This is Mineral Orange Prismacolor. Where am I? Come on. There you go. Mineral Orange, but it's PC1033. I always write the codes down because it makes it easier for ordering, and just because that's what's on the pencil, it makes it easy to identify it. So I had nowhere to actually write what the colour was in that set, just the colour that I'd grouped it at the top. And it was bugging me for ages because I'm not really good at grids and stuff like that. It sounds weird, but I'm creative, but I'm not good at stuff on the computer. I'm better with my hands, and I did it out by hand and I just couldn't see how to get around it. And I asked my mom and she said, oh, I can do it on the computer for you. I know what you need. I can do a grid on the computer. She used to be an administrator for her church, for the church. She's gave that up now, so she's got very familiar with Excel, Word documents, stuff like that. I'm just going to sharpen this. So she knew what I was on about and she knows what to do, but she wanted to use my laptop. She has her own. I don't know if it's because I've got a MacBook, even though she's scared of the MacBook, whether she wants to use mine, I don't know. But I leave mine in my office and it plays videos. If I need it, I move it to my desk, but it has a special place next to my TV that I put Netflix on in the background or music, and 9 times out of 10 it ends up dead. It's alright when I'm using it because I just put the charger in, but once I see the green light I plug it out and then I probably won't use it for days and it is dead. So when she wanted to do that for me, it was actually dead, and it has been dead for how long? It's been a week now. She hasn't done it because every time she's wanted to do it, my laptop's been charging or it's been dead. So that was the one I wanted to start off with, but I don't have the grid for it yet and I haven't swatched them out, but I will, because it's something I want to do for me personally with my designing. And that is really where I want to take my channel. Anything that I do, any techniques that I show, it's because I want to do them personally, but doing this helps me. It really does. Mentally, it builds my confidence. My mum brought me a massive book about confidence for Christmas, which I loved, and most of them are true to me, so I can see my confidence is building. It is a way of therapy for me doing these videos, especially if I do colouring chats. You know, I won't hide my mental health. I won't hide it. I will always talk about it, because like I said before, if it helps one person, then I feel good. I feel like I've done my job, and a couple of people have reached out to me and talked to me, which I love, because that means I'm doing something right. And I watched Anne from A Colourful Life's video the other day. She was giving tips on how to start a YouTube colour channel. Mine's not just colouring, but that's where I'm starting it for now. And I absolutely loved what she had to say, because first of all, it let me know that I was doing the right thing so far, because she was like, if you're doing it just because you love it, then carry on. I was like, yeah, I do. I don't have a lot of followers at the moment, or subscribers or likes, and I don't post regularly, I know that, but I'm trying to explain why. But at the same time, it helps me as well. It's just a little hobby for me to do, kind of document my own progress in video form. My boyfriend likes watching them. My mum, she doesn't really understand it, but she's quite proud of me for doing it. So yeah, that is what I want to do. for this month probably. Like I said, I will, now that I've got my unit, film a office tour. That should be really fun. I'm gonna have to do it on my phone, which does put me off because I don't think I'm at that level yet where I could ask my mum and my boyfriend to film me doing something. Like, no, I'll hold the camera, it's fine. But yeah, and I also, my plan is throughout this year, I don't know if I'll do it in a year, every supply that I own, so pencils, markers, water-based, alcohol, paint, watercolours, acrylic, I want to create a page and talk about tips and techniques to use, because it's important for me as a designer to make sure that I'm doing mixed media pieces, whether it's for my illustrations or whether it's for my designs, because depending on what material you use, you can actually represent a fabric and it makes your life 10 times easier. If a customer can look at a sketch and say, that's meant to be denim or that's meant to be tartan, you've done half the work without telling them, if you know what I mean. And I do have a lot of supplies, but I just naturally draw towards, if I'm sketching and designing, I draw towards alcohol markers because they are fast, they're brilliant, they're amazing, they don't leave any lines. But not every fabric needs an alcohol marker, so I want to get better at my colour pencils for designing, but I do lean towards them for colouring more. So I kind of just want to mix and match everything together, but go through each one individually, and then when I've done that, I'll probably just concentrate on making lovely mixed media art pages, which are my favourites. I love using everything. Like on here, I've got acrylic paint. I started with some stickles, but I thought, because stickles are wet and they take long to dry, I'm better off doing everything first and doing the stickles last. But I think this is lavender, the lavender stickles. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will film the swatch video soon, and I hope you're all interested in that. I know I would be if somebody did. I know a couple of people say they will be doing swatch book videos, but you got mine to look forward to. So guys, I also wanted to say, after watching Anne's videos with her tips and tricks for a colour YouTube channel, and one tip she did say was have the word colouring in it or art in it, because it reaches more people when they search for videos and stuff, which I think is a good idea and it makes sense. So I wanted to take this opportunity to explain my channel name really, and I'm really scared about this because I don't want somebody to take that idea, not for YouTube, that wouldn't bother me. It's actually the name that I want for my business. So my current channel name is Leah Revokes. On my course at uni, one of my units was to brand yourself. I had to get business cards and everything. Actually, let me show you. My degree was hectic and I wasn't in a good place at the time, so I just rushed these. I used Moo because I like theirs. And we had to put the business cards in. You've got Vistaprint, but I like Moo. They're a lot nicer. You had to put the business cards in your folder. You didn't really have to explain why, but you had to do it professionally to make it look like you wanted to go out there into the world of business. So I had two for two different companies that did two different things. These are actual email addresses. And they are live. I don't think I get any email except for junk email, but that's on me because I haven't launched my business as a whole yet. Like, I do want to Etsy shop and everything. What I'm working on this year, I know it sounds long, a whole year, is creating content for my Etsy shop and for my business. And that's just because of how busy I am. The more content I have, the easier I might find it to get out orders, because then I can still be working on content, but not content that needs to be out like tomorrow by a deadline. I'm just giving myself a head start. That's only because, like I say, I'm trying to save for a mortgage. If I didn't have a mortgage to save for, then I could just go away and start it now. And then this one is a standard one. It doesn't have a design. It just says what I am. So freelance fashion designer. It has women's wear, textile design and print design. That is where I am most likely. That's where my work excels. That's where I like to do the most. It has my professional email there and my Wix website with my portfolio and my phone number. I have these ready. This is my Instagram. This is for my fashion work, my art thread, and my Facebook, again for my fashion work. Not really everything else, not my personal accounts. I haven't handed these out because I'm just not in the headspace to do freelance designing yet. But these are for my business. So, Revoke. A while ago, like I said, I did this for uni, but a while ago I said something to someone. I think it was my boyfriend when we first started talking, and he absolutely loved it. He said, you should write that down. And the more I thought about it, I'll see if I can find it here, the more I actually loved it. And I think that has actually moulded and shaped me into where I am today and what I want to do. So I went through a phase where I collected quotes from people. So my tongue lied, my eyes shouted the truth. That's from Game of Thrones. There was another one that I got from Harry Potter, which I absolutely loved. But I said something and I thought of it as a quote. And it is, I want to build an empire that revokes what I've been through. There's a bit more to it. It molds my future and it secures my present. Anyone that knows me, I'm very futuristic. I've always wanted my own business, and I guess I started to think, what do I want my business to mean? And I have gone through a lot in my past, but I don't want my past to then reflect my future. And I am working on changing myself as a whole. And I thought that could be my brand statement. So that is what Revoke stands for. It's revoking my past to create a better future, which I think a lot of people could identify to. Hence why I thought of it as a design name. I designed this myself. It's kind of like a barcode covering a woman's mouth, but then the barcode has the colours for the brand, which are pink and blue, because it matched this whole sketchbook that I had. I should do a tour of that one time, actually, because I do want to do sketchbook tours. And then this one here, oh wait, I've just realised you didn't really see that, did you? There we go. And this one here just had the name and the email address, really plain and simple. And on the back, the same information, freelance fashion designer. And this brand, my boyfriend gave me the inspiration for this one. It's called Baudelaire, or Baudelaire, however you want to pronounce it. Because I had two designs that I was debating for Revoke, but that one fit best for Revoke. There's this one, which I did kind of like, and I did this on my iPad, so I actually hand wrote that out, but it was on my iPad with my Apple Pencil. And the reason behind this name is that A Series of Unfortunate Events, the series on Netflix, I love the film, and when it came out I was like, oh, I've got to watch it. I think I watched the first series with my boyfriend, and then the second series came out and I wasn't with him, so I watched it without him, and he called me a snake. He was like, oh, you're a traitor, blah blah blah. And because of that, he was like, oh, you know the Baudelaires from the Series of Misfortunate Events? He was like, it kind of sounds like, you say it sounds like your name, like Lee or something at the end. And I was like, oh yeah, Baudelaire. He was like, yeah, that's what you should call your fashion company. And I think I had to have two for my unit. So I created this with the same information, but like a different design, different name. Which, now I could have two different ones, because I actually do a lot of Bible journaling in my spare time. I absolutely love it. I don't go to church anymore, and I can't go to church anymore because it's just too detrimental to my mental health. But I am a Christian, and I do strongly believe, but the way churches run, they don't really cater for mental health, and I think it has a massive impact, not only on the world, but just on people in general. Like for me personally, because I have OCD, I can't do things in the same order that somebody else can do. But my church wasn't really accommodating for that, and I had to go away and find myself again to realise stuff like that. And I know now I'm a very creative person, and I can't just sit and read my Bible. I have to do anything related with art. I'm gonna love it and take it in a lot more. So for that reason, I could have this for like my crafting and my fashion, and this one could be for my Bible journaling. I haven't really thought of it yet, but that is just some explanation behind my channel name, Leah Revokes. I was just going to have Revokes to match my brand, but I talked to a lot of people on live streams, and I wanted them to still know it's me, even though my picture's there. It's still me, it's still Leah. every day, I am still thinking and debating on whether I want to put colouring in it or put art in it, 'cause it's not just colouring I'm going to do, it is Bible journaling, it is journaling in general, scrapbooking, I want to do sketchbook tours. I did mention this in my first ever video of how I was talking to people in groups and on live streams about how I use my colouring to inspire my designs, and I think a couple of people said, oh, I'd love to see the work that you created from that. And I have been working hard on collating all my old work and doing a sketchbook tour. I have a new sketchbook here. My inspiration comes from Carla Magana, the artist. If you haven't heard of it, go and find her. I think her work is amazing. From Halloween last year with Kate and Shalene, I've been hooked, seriously. And she has done 2 sketchbook tours now, and she's honestly given me the inspiration to do one for myself. Yeah, I think she's absolutely amazing. My sketchbook is filling up a lot. It is a lot of my Bible journaling stuff. I do then take on and create pieces with them. Sometimes there's a little bit of colouring stuff. There's bits about me as well, but I do want to do it. And I found loads of old work that have just been loose that I can now smash book and put in a sketchbook and show you guys. So yeah, that is all to come. That is all about me. That is my channel name. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you do stick with me because I have got some amazing ideas. I would love my channel to grow, and I would love to find more people to interact with, not for the amount of subscribers and all of that. I would say all that business side of it. It's purely because this is another creative outlet for me, and I would love to either teach people or show people new ways to interact within themselves and new techniques to use. That is just my main aim and my purpose. So please stick with me. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because I will keep putting content out there. I will promise that. It might not always be regular, I might always be busy, I might be ill some days, but I do want to keep doing this. So thank you for watching, and thank you to sticking with me so far, and let's hope we go on a massive journey together in 2019. Bye guys.